In the middle of a disastrous stretch creatively in the couple months past WrestleMania, the top cure for June fever would likely be a thrilling finish to tomorrow's inaugural WWE Stomping Grounds pay-per-view card in Tacoma, Washington. Some effective go-home efforts on both Raw and SmackDown this week have raised the expectations for Sunday's show, packaged tightly just 2 weeks after a Super Showdown card in Saudi Arabia that was nearly as poorly received in the aftermath as the negative press coming in. Although Stomping Grounds features a bit too many rematches and retrieves coming out of the desert, there is reason for anticipation based upon the cliffhanger of the open special guest referee spot in the Universal Championship match between Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin that will likely close the show. Should the reveal prove to be Money in the Bank winner Brock Lesnar, there is potential for some fireworks in how this finish is booked. So with that being said, hello friends and welcome to this very special edition of the Wrestling Forum, a joint production of Ridiculously Raw and the Cerebral Smack Talk. Your ridiculously over good brother Anthony Florio here, joined by the host of the Cerebral Smack Talk, of course, the one and only good old MF Michael Fletcher. We do apologize for the lateness of this. I had a very special event on my end, which ran a little late, but all is good now. So I'm glad that MF is available for this. We had to cancel last night's show. We apologize for that. The docket for last night will be carried over to next week, just to let you all know. Michael Bullock not with us tonight. He has special plans of his own. And Dee Dee Woodson not with us as well, unfortunately, due to a family emergency, a very serious family emergency. And we want to send out our prayers and well wishes to Dee Dee and the family at this time. So this one's for you tonight. That's all there is to say there. So with all that being said, let's dive right on in. Stomping Grounds, of course, will be live tomorrow night from the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington. It's been forever since they've done a show there. I can't remember the last time they did a Raw or a SmackDown or anything. It's been ages since they've done shows there, but it's great. It'll be great to see that venue once again. It's been a long, long time. But nonetheless, let's dive right on in. We have a triple threat match for the Cruiserweight Championship. The premier athlete, Tony Nese, the reigning champion, defending against both Drew Gulak and Akira Tozawa. In hindsight, it feels like a disastrous decision to have pulled the title off of Buddy Murphy so soon, considering WWE had yet to debut him on SmackDown Live. Either way, Nese's title reign has felt like nothing more than transitional, especially considering the dominant personality of late on 205 Live has come in the form of newly re-signed Mike Kanellis. The sneaky pick here may be in giving Gulak a run at the strap, considering how over he has gotten himself on the microphone, and how perfectly contrasting his mat-based style is opposite the division's high flyers. So I'm actually going to take a chance here, and I'm going to say the winner and new Cruiserweight champion, Drew Gulak. I think he's due. But if I'm wrong, I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Nese ends up winning it. Tozawa's already had a run with it, so really nothing more to say out here. I'm going with Drew Gulak to win the title. But like I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Whatever. So nothing more to say. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, come on in. Let's get your thoughts. So triple threat match, Nese, Gulak, Tozawa. Gulak and Tozawa had a contenders match, which ended in controversy. So Drake Maverick said, hell with it. Let's just make it a triple threat. I think he did the right thing here.
Which was the right decision. Absolutely. Both men deserve the opportunity at the championship, no doubt about it. And if you really think about it, with Tony Nese, this is a golden opportunity for him. Akira Tozawa, former champion, you even said it, but Drew Gulak, after winning the title at WrestleMania, even though it was the pre-show, he did win the title at WrestleMania, and now has held the division pretty much on his own. I think that I do believe Tony Nese will win the title eventually. I just don't think for this show, this is the right time to do it. I think what they'll do is they'll probably do it right around the SummerSlam event, which I believe is the better event to do it in. Bigger stage, bigger arena, and a bigger platform, to say the very least. So I think Drew Gulak successfully defends the title, but then I think eventually Tony Nese gets the belt, but I think he'll get it at SummerSlam. So I got Drew Gulak successfully defending the title.
You mean Tony Nese?
Tony Nese, I'm sorry, I got it completely wrong. I think Tony Nese successfully defends the title, and then Drew Gulak wins the belt at SummerSlam. That's my prediction.
Okay, that's fair enough. Keep your mic on, MF. You'll be leading off the next one here, which is only fitting because this is a SmackDown Live match, and you are Mr. SmackDown, obviously.
Yes.
Tag team action. We got Xavier Woods and Biggie Langston of the New Day squaring off against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So, what do we feel about this on SmackDown?
I kind of feel like they're going to give it to the New Day. I think the New Day definitely deserves the victory on this one. Plus, Biggie, this is really his first. I know he's been in, some matches and they're trying to ease him back in. This is kind of the first major fight, pay-per-view fight for him since coming back from the injury. And plus, I kind of feel like, it's kind of repetitive, unfortunately. I think we all thought that they were going to kind of get away from Owens and Zayn, but now it looks like they're bringing them back together. Why? I don't know. I think it's kind of apropos after all the time that they've been working, and I truly feel that they're going to want to start pushing Big E down the line because, there was a rumor about maybe him turning heel down the line, turning on his New Day brethren, even though they're so popular with the merchandise and everything else and the pancakes and, seeing Kofi as WWE champion. I kind of feel like we're going to have to wait and see what happens, but I would like to see the New Day get the victory here. A nice little victory for Big E and the crew. So, yeah, winner of the bout, Biggie Langston, Xavier Woods, the New Day. They win it. Anthony, go.
I respectfully disagree with you, MF, and here's why. Having Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn back on television has been great. Seeing them lose every week, not so much. I think this is an opportunity to rectify that against a team in New Day that could lose every match for a month and not drop one iota in popularity. I don't think this match being on the card is necessary, to be honest. In fact, I would have preferred it to be saved for Extreme Rules with a cool stipulation. But if you're going to run it, then an opportunity should be provided for the heels to get over and build some respectability and credibility again. So with that being said, I'm going with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to win this match. Sorry, MF. Staying with the SmackDown action, our next match is for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. The Planet's champions, the reigning champions, the new Daniel Bryan and Rowan, defending the title against All Night Tucker Knight and Otis Dozovich, the Heavy Machinery. Well, this one, I don't think we're going to be having a disagreement on this one. There's only one way for this to go. Successful title defense. Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan, has been nothing short of brilliant of late on the microphone, making this lopsided feud an entertaining one, considering Heavy Machinery's goofball style, mainly Otis, fitting in perfectly into the ear of Bryan's persona. With that said, this isn't a feud that needs to last too long. It allows Otis and Tucker a chance to get attention and a cup of coffee on the title level, but nothing more. The heels win and move on to bigger and better things. So winners and still the SmackDown Tag Team Champions and the Planet's Tag Team Champions, the new Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Wouldn't you agree with that, MF?
Yeah, I gotta agree with that as well. The new Daniel Bryan has been one of the best things on SmackDown Live. Thank God he never went to Monday Night Raw in the Superstar Shakeup. I kind of feel like right now we're kind of lacking the talent-wise, and that was the one thing that we had. We had the power of some great quality wrestlers on SmackDown Live. That Superstar Shakeup kind of hurt SmackDown in more ways than one, even though the quality of the show has differed and dipped and dropped. But unfortunately, Monday Night Raw has not exactly benefited from SmackDown's riches, which is actually a little bit of a quandary because
AJ Styles, come on.
I mean, with all the guys that were going on SmackDown Live that basically got traded away, you thought the quality was going to get better, and we knew SmackDown was going to get rated. We knew it was going to be a bad night for Team Blue, and it ended up being a bad night for Team Blue. We took some hits. We took a couple of significant hits, but what happened was the quality of Raw went down, the quality of SmackDown went down, and now we're in a quandary. So, yeah, one of the big bright spots has been the new Daniel Bryan, and thank God he never left. So, because he's one of the reasons why I still watch the show. So, yeah, I kind of feel like Heavy Machinery, look, I like their gimmick. They definitely got over the night we saw them in Providence. They got over big in Providence.
Absolutely.
And Anthony, you know that very well.
Yep.
We were there, and the fans were behind them. We like them. So, I mean, it's a nice opportunity for them. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, I'm with you. I just don't think they're too new. They're too green. And to put the belts on them now, I think would be a major disservice. So at the end of the day, yes, winners and still the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I'm not calling them the other thing. Forget that. But it will be the new Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, and they successfully defend the titles.
All right. And MF, you'll be leading off on this next match. And I got to be honest with you. Out of all the matches on this card, this next match here, I think, has the potential to steal the dang show, in the immortal words of JBL.
We hope.
United States Heavyweight Championship on the line. The champion Samoa Joe defending against the one and only Ricochet. Ricochet, of course, earning this opportunity by virtue of winning the fatal five-way elimination match this past Monday night on Raw, which was a very good match for the most part. So MF, we talked about it. We'll do it again here. You know, the brute strength, the power, and, you know, the bully persona of Samoa Joe going up against the high flying aerial ability and the speed of Ricochet. Show stealer.
Basically, you got an 18-wheeler truck going up against a guy who's not afraid to go parkour, American Ninja Warrior style. And yes, that is a little nod to Ricochet's girlfriend, to Ricochet's real life girlfriend, Katie Catanzaro. If you know my love affair with her, go back to the Royal Rumble commentary where me and Anthony did that on my channel and how high I was on the mighty Casey. Now, this is interesting because obviously we're all hoping that Ricochet gets a big push sometime down the line. He is a big, genuine star, and he is amazing. If you've never seen Ricochet in the independents, like Lucha Underground, or it's just in other wrestling organizations around the world, this guy is a bona fide superstar. This guy is without a doubt the biggest high flyer. The aerial assault that he does is absolutely phenomenal. In the ring, he is second to none in wrestling. Samoa Joe is the same way. Yes, he gets a bad rap because a lot of people think he's lazy, that he doesn't put his effort in, and sometimes he takes a cup of coffee on some fights. But whenever it's a big fight feel, a big match that he needs to represent and show up, he does it in the highest order. And this is a big fight feel with a pretty good title on the line. Yes, the United States title hasn't really had a luster or a legacy or relevance in a minute, but this fight has a feel that this could be a fight of the night. This is a dark horse for fight of the night. It's just, can they put it together? Can they do the right thing? To me, I think I would love to see Ricochet win it. I would love to see a new champion, but I kind of feel like Joe's going to win, or it could be a DQ finish. Unfortunately, I think this is going to prolong. I think they want to give Ricochet a bigger moment and maybe let him win the title at SummerSlam. That I would think that would be a great moment for him. I just don't think it's his time just yet. Not yet. Winner by disqualification, the one and only Ricochet. I think Joe keeps the belt for a little while longer. Anthony, it's yours.
I got to go with Joe here. I mean, yes, we are all fans of Ricochet. And while we all are fans of Ricochet, I personally think he has a bright future on the main roster. It feels way too soon for him to even be getting this title opportunity, let alone for him to come away from this match with the United States Heavyweight Championship. Ricochet would not be hurt with a loss here to Joe, while Joe getting a clean win over a face that draws a solid crowd reaction would do wonders for him. This match should be awesome either way, and if given time, could actually steal the show. The only question is whether it will get that time. We pray to God it does. I expect Joe to hold on to this until Rey Mysterio gets healthy and takes it off of him clean. Perhaps that happens at SummerSlam. So I got to go with the winner and still United States Heavyweight Champion, Samoa Joe. All right. Now we move on to one of the big matches on the card here. Roman Reigns, the big dog, one-on-one with the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. McIntyre needs to win this match, plain and simple. It was a grave mistake to put Roman over so cleanly back at WrestleMania. But with the summer storylines and characters developing, there's a chance tomorrow to correct that mistake. Paired as Shane McMahon's, right-hand man, enforcer, heavy, what have you, McIntyre has been portrayed as the killer he should have been all along, as he's mowed through the roster. His character dropped off a bit there for a short while, but he's back on the fast track towards eventually earning his first world championship. That needs to take a monumental leap forward at Stomping Grounds with a clean victory over the face of the company. So with all that being said, I got to go with Drew McIntyre here. Roman will be just fine. Roman's done everything. Drew McIntyre is a stud in the making. He will be eventually the Universal Champion. I could see that at SummerSlam, him and Rollins. And they'll tear the house down in Toronto. No doubt about it. But for right now, give me Drew McIntyre to beat Roman Reigns. Would I be surprised if Roman wins? Absolutely not. But Roman went over at Mania in a match that was criminally short. It had potential to be one of the sleeper fights of the night, but boy, were we let down. It felt that match was more of a TV quality match, honestly. But hopefully this one will get the time it deserves, and hopefully Drew will get the big win here. So I'm going to go for it. Winner of the match, Drew McIntyre, Scottish psychopath. And then on to bigger and better things. Maybe the man who will possibly dethrone Seth Rollins as the Universal Champion. So nothing more to say on that. MF, we've seen this. It's not just SmackDown Live, but we've also seen this on Raw, too, because of the wild card rule and all that. So big dog, Scottish psychopath. It's got to be Drew's time. It has to be.
You would think it would be, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like McMahon and the suit want to keep Roman strong. I know, and I get it. I understand it. I could actually see Shane McMahon, one way or another, stick his nose where it doesn't belong again. And this is the only way McIntyre wins. Shane or Elias or the crew shows up and literally screws over Roman Reigns again. That's the only likely scenario I see. Because I truly believe, because you've heard the rumors about that they're thinking about putting Shane possibly as a champion down the line. Which is, no, please do not do that move. Whatever you do, WWE, do not do that move. I'm telling you, you do that move, you're going to destroy the company as we know it. But that's the only way that they're going to do this. If you want Roman to lose and you want to keep him strong, you're going to have him lose by screw job. And trust me, the McMahon family are known to do moments like this. Keep Roman strong. Let Drew get the win. This is not going to be a clean victory. That's all I'm saying. Drew wins the fight, but there's going to be shenanigans on this one, and I'm calling it. Drew wins by cheating. Nothing more. If Roman wins outright and beats Drew clean like he did at WrestleMania, I don't see how Drew recovers. The only way they do this is because they want to keep Roman strong as well. Remember, he's the face of WWE, so you don't want to have him lose clean either. Because if you let him lose clean as well, that might hurt Roman too, and you don't want that. So I could see shenanigans. Drew wins, but Shane is gonna stick his nose where it doesn't belong again, just to be in the spotlight, and they're gonna further that storyline. So, Drew McIntyre wins by shenanigans. All right, Anthony. Next match.
You ready for some hot women's action? Well, yeah, we got not one but two. These next two matches are all about that. And we're going to start it off with MF and SmackDown Live, the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. Bayley defending against former SmackDown Women's Champion in her own right and Raw Women's Superstar Alexa Bliss. MF, I mean, now here's an interesting question here. What if Alexa Bliss, even though she's on Raw, what if Alexa Bliss wins the SmackDown Women's title? Does she go back to SmackDown Live and make your women's division even better? What happens?
She would actually be exclusive to SmackDown Live, yes. If Alexa Bliss wins the title tomorrow night, she goes to SmackDown Live. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. She goes to SmackDown. Raw loses the goddess. Plain and simple. But I truly believe that they're going to start planting the seeds of a rivalry between Alexa and Nikki Cross. Therefore, I think the winner of the bout and still SmackDown Women's Champion is Bayley. I got Bayley winning the match, successfully defending the title, because I think Alexa and Nikki are on a collision course to fight each other down the line. Florio, it's yours.
That's good. I don't want to lose Alexa, but nonetheless, the only thing worse than a Raw superstar competing for a SmackDown title would be a Raw superstar winning a SmackDown title. With Bayley having defeated Charlotte Flair via Money in the Bank cash-in to win the title in the first place, and following that up with a couple of good promos, including that fantastic Moment of Bliss segment this past Tuesday night on SmackDown Live, Bayley is finally starting to look like a legitimate singles star again. Why they couldn't have done this with her on Raw is beyond me, but it is what it is. Feeding her to Alexa simply to put the title back around her waist would be mind-numbingly bad booking. Alexa does not need a title to be over, whereas Bayley basically does, where Bayley does need it, considering how poorly and criminally underutilized that she has been booked over the last few years, including her last feud against Bliss, that god-awful feud 2 years ago. But there is little reason to change this title for a fifth time in the last 4 months. The question many have entering this match is whether Sasha Banks actually shows up to have Bayley's back or turn on her, considering Nikki Cross is in Bliss's corner. I truly hope they save that for a bigger show than this. So I agree with you, MF. Winner and still the SmackDown Women's Champion. It is indeed Bayley. So let's move on now to the Raw Women's Championship. Champion, the man, Becky Lynch, defending the title against the sassy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans. Whether you agree that this feud has dragged on a bit too long without much in the way of new developments, Lacey Evans has continued to prove she's worthy of being presented as an elite talent. The command of her character continues to be impressive, considering this is her debut angle on the main roster. That doesn't mean it's time to take the title off of Lynch. However, if and when Sasha Banks makes a return to the active roster, one, including myself, could imagine a perfect SummerSlam feud between the Boss and the Man for the Raw Women's title would be in the card. And if you do that, oh my goodness. Oh my word. That that would be freaking epic. That could go down as one of the greatest women's title matches in recent memory. I know it's fantasy booking, I know it's wishful thinking, but hey, a guy can dream, right? And I know that's all I'm doing, but you never know. Never say never in the world of professional wrestling. That's all there is to say. So with all that, for me, the winner and still the Raw Women's Champion, the man, Becky Lynch. Nothing more to say. MF, how do you follow up that little fantasy booking scenario?
Well, I have heard rumors about maybe Becky versus Bailey down the line in a unification, that we could have a winner take all two for the Raw and SmackDown women's titles again. So it is very possible, no doubt about it. And if that does happen, I would have to say that obviously you want Becky to be the champion going in. So, yes, it's going to be a good matchup. And there is a little bit of a storyline, a little bit that is connected between Lacey and Becky. And who knows, it might actually involve later in the night. Well, I'll get into my theory about that as well. I have heard some rumors about this, and we'll get into the reasoning behind that in a minute. But winner of the bout, still Raw Women's Champion, the man, Becky Lynch. Florio, go.
And now we're on to the double main event of Stomping Grounds, and MF will start it off here. Only fitting, it's his brand's title. SmackDown Live main event, the WWE Championship on the line, inside the confines of a 15-foot high steel cage. The champion, Kofi Kingston, defending the title once again against the show-off Dolph Ziggler. MF, I mean, here's another match right here that has potential to be a show stealer, considering the body of work of these two, and considering we're in the confines of what Hulk Hogan used to call it, a steel temper cage.
And it is, and it's going to be an unbelievable matchup. I get excited for steel cage fights, especially with guys like when you got guys like Dolph Ziggler and Kofi Kingston. We all know Kofi is absolutely a maniac when he does these type of matches, ladder matches, Royal Rumbles, you name it. He always gives you a high spot, a crazy moment, a look at this, an oh my god. And Dolph Ziggler, I mean, he's the same way. There is no doubt in my mind. Dolph and Kofi is gonna put one hell of a match, one hell of a performance. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna say it. My prediction is the winner of the bout and still the WWE champion. I'm going with Kofi Kingston to win. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. It is going to be Kofi Kingston. Let me tell you, not only has Kofi Kingston's surprising WWE Championship reign produced an all-time great WrestleMania moment, his character has grown in the months that have followed with the strap. So even though the direction of the storytelling could suggest a Dolph Ziggler victory could be in order tomorrow, it's hard to imagine WWE steering away from such a good story surrounding Kofi Kingston as WWE Champion. Certainly give credit for Ziggler's promo ability and the manner in which he set the stage for this cage match through his work this past Tuesday on SmackDown Live. But even without his New Day brothers by his side, I still think it's too early to see Kofi without the belt. Although there is a small possibility Dolph could actually steal it here. But Kofi as champion, I mean, as a guy, you know me, I've always been one for underdog stories. You know how much I love those. And, you know, when Kofi won the title at Mania, I mean, it was, the most emotionally charged WrestleMania title victory since since the man he took it off of, Daniel Bryan, 5 years ago. But in all honesty, it's very simply put, I don't want to see the dream end yet. I don't want to wake up from this dream yet. I really don't. So, but I wouldn't mind Ziggler winning the title. Honestly, I really wouldn't, because I think he's due a run. But I got to go with Kofi in this one. So nothing more to say here. Main event, what could be the main event of the evening. Universal Championship on the line from Monday Night Raw. The champion Seth Rollins defending the title against Baron Corbin. Okay. I think we're all in agreement. I mean, I don't know what the possibility is. I mean, it was announced that Baron Corbin would be allowed to handpick a special guest referee because of the controversy at Super Showdown involving actual WWE referee John Cone. But we don't even know who it is yet. They didn't give it away on Raw. They didn't give it away on SmackDown this past week. So who is it? The suggestion is Brock Lesnar. Lesnar is the one that could serve as Corbin's handpicked referee, though it will be interesting to see how that is explained come match time. Why would it make sense for Corbin to choose the Money in the Bank winner to just be hanging around in the event that he defeats Rollins to win the title? But nonetheless, if Lesnar is there and we see the cash in here, I'm fearing that Brock's going to cash in the briefcase to close the show that's somewhat flown under the radar the past few weeks. Though it'll be on Seth Rollins, who I think Rollins will beat Corbin. No steel chair will be able to save Rollins this time, as like it or not. There's a very strong possibility that Brock Lesnar, could hold the Universal title hostage again. I'm praying that doesn't happen, but I am going to go with Seth Rollins to successfully defend the Universal Championship. But I got this weird and very uneasy feeling in the pit of my stomach right now that Brock Lesnar could cash in and Brock Lesnar could walk out with the Universal belt again. And if that's the case, then Monday Night Raw will be in even bigger trouble than it's already in. And the last thing we need is another Lesnar hostage crisis. I mean, we already had 2 of them. God forbid, we don't need a third. But with my luck, that's probably going to happen. So I pray that doesn't happen, but we'll see soon enough. But I'm going with Seth Rollins to successfully defend, but I would not be surprised if Brock Lesnar ends up stealing the damn thing. And if that's the case, oh boy, let's just say my inner John Moxley is going to come out, and you do not want that tomorrow night, MF. Come recap time on your show or on your channel. So I'm just going to leave it at that. So here in that scenario, MF, I'm sure that's got to bring a relief to you.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I kind of feel like right now, actually, the rumor I'm hearing, it's going to be Lacey Evans. That's the rumor I'm hearing, because think about this. Lately, they've been penning a lot of stuff, and they've been talking about the relationship between they've been talking about the Seth Rollins Becky Lynch relationship, which is they are legit boyfriend girlfriend. That really hurts me just saying that alone. I'm not just gonna be real honest with you about that, but okay. But there was the talk that maybe that would bring out Lacey Evans to be the special referee. Now that could bring out Becky Lynch. And we all know, look out below if that goes down. We might have some fireworks going at the end. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But at the end of the day, I do believe that the winner of the bout and still the Universal Champion is going to be Seth Rollins regardless. I don't believe we're going to get a Money in the Bank cash in. I don't see Brock Lesnar going to Tacoma to try to heist this belt from you. So, Anthony, I'm just going to be honest. I think you're going to be able to breathe a sigh of relief. I don't see it happening. All right? That's it. Done. Florio, go.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, that brings a little bit of relief to me. I'll believe it when I don't see it. That's all there is to say on that. So
I'm pretty confident Brock will not be there. I mean, if he is, that's a total surprise. That like I would be stunned because it's Tacoma, Washington. It's really a B-level pay-per-view. Why would they want to waste the Money in the Bank on that moment? I'm
that's
sorry, I just don't see it. I don't see it happening.
well, the ticket sales have been very lackluster.
Yeah.
So
And the funniest thing is, I want to give a big shout out to my friend Rich Lopes from the 2184 crew. He actually sent me something today, and I'll send it to you when we're done with the show with this show. He's saying that WWE is saying the reason why for the poor ticket sales is they're actually blaming it on the upcoming SummerSlam in Toronto.
huh. Okay.
I'll send you. I'll send you the link, like I said, in a little bit once we're done with the show.
Which we're about to be. So
Yeah.
all right. So that will put the bow on this special edition of the Wrestling Forum, this joint production of Ridiculously Raw and the Cerebral Smack Talk. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. We will be back with you tomorrow night, immediately following the pay-per-view. As soon as it goes off the air, we'll be over on MF's channel this time around, Brace Fan 95, as we will have our recap of Stomping Grounds. And then Monday night, of course, we will have Ridiculously Raw, right back here on the Tone 25, sorting out all the fallout from Stomping Grounds. Perhaps we'll start the build to the next pay-per-view, which is Extreme Rules, in 3 weeks on July 14th in Philadelphia, or as MF calls it, the Illadelph. That's where we'll be for that. And then either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on MF's work schedule, we got the Cerebral Smack Talk. We'll sort out the continued fallout from Stomping Grounds. We'll see if there's a Mikey's Mindset, and of course, my Tony's Take with 205 Live and Impact Wrestling on my end on Ridiculously Raw. And then Friday night, hopefully, we'll have Strictly Sports this time around. And if we do, the docket from last night has been carried over to next week. It will be our 2019 NBA draft recap. So we'll get that out to you hopefully on Friday night. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for the recap, it's your ridiculously over good brother Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, and in spirit, the phenom Michael Bullock, the Twisted Angel Dee Dee Woodson and family, and of course the FMRI 401, the hardcore pipe bomb himself, Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Sunday. And until our Stomping Grounds recap with MF on Brace Fan 95 tomorrow night, you've been watching the WWE Stomping Grounds 2019 preview show right here on the Zone 25 at YouTube.com. And remember, as I always say, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Floyo, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.